chick just started like ringing my doorbell, just showed up to my house. I thought that she was breaking in. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And she was like, we have to film together right now. And I was like, who are you?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, I never thought I'd see the day where I'd be sitting here making a video on Kathleen Lights, but here we are. This is not petty drama, this is a very serious issue, and I ask that whatever your opinion is on the matter, please respect the opinions of others. Some of you, I'm sure, will be offended and some won't, and that's fine. I don't think anyone has the right to tell someone they shouldn't be offended over something like this, so please be respectful of each other in the comments. Okay, so just as some background on the situation, JACLYN Hill posted snaps last night revealing that she and Kathleen Lights are collabing together on their channels. According to JACLYN's snaps, Kathleen and her husband spent the day at JACLYN's house so the girls could film, and after they were done, I guess Kathleen tried out one of JACLYN's husband's VR video games and JACLYN snapped Kathleen playing. Here's JACLYN's snap.
Yeah, sure.
Babe, I can't wait for you to try this.
I am not doing this. I'm not doing this.
You don't want them? See.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm moving.
You got it, yeah.
Oh my God, this is really creepy. This is really creepy.
Are they like around me?
No, no one's around you yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at her feet. Look at her feet. She's so scared. She's so.
That laugh.
She's shooting the balloon.
I've never had the balls to play this. This is my nightmare.
You're not gonna play it?
No, John. You know this is not my journey, baby. Come on, clowns, bitch. No.
Creepy. She's gonna pop up again, I bet. I thought you said she's scared of shit. How's she playing?
She's terrified. I don't know, John. I don't know how she's doing this. It's really beyond me. I would literally be having nightmares for the next year.
Like,
she's handling it like a boss.
She's not just watching a scary movie. She's in one.
But this next portion was quickly deleted. I'm gonna play it in its entirety first, and then I will replay it with captions. So what do we think of that? I mean, is it just a word that rolls off her tongue like that? Was it a slip? Let me know your thoughts. I was absolutely shocked to hear that word come out of her mouth. But let me know if you were offended by it and whether this incident changes the way you feel about it.
I just don't know how to repay you guys for everything that you've done for me, and honestly the only thing that I can really come up with is that I promise you right here and now that I will never sell out. I promise you that I will never lie to you.
This is the only foundation brush that I use.
I promise you that I will never put money above my relationship with my subscribers.
No, it's doing that thing.
I promise you that I will stay true to myself and I will stay true to you.
If you followed JACLYN from the very beginning, you know that before Morphe came along, she constantly raved about Sigma brushes in her makeup tutorials on her YouTube channel.
Sigma Beauty, I think, makes some of the best quality brushes for their price. And they are so much like MAC brushes, but they are so stinking cheap. It's like there's no comparison as to which one you want to get because of the price point.
In a September 2013 post on her website titled My Meet and Greet with Sigma Beauty, she wrote, I just have to start off by saying a little something about the company. I discovered Sigma brushes in late 2009, which is when I fell in love with the F80. Best foundation brush of all time. I have used and spoken about their brushes to clients and on my YouTube channel for years. When they emailed me inviting me to come to their store for a meet and greet, I was screaming in excitement. Let me just say that I have never met such a wonderful, polite, family-oriented company. The owners have such genuine, appreciative hearts. Everyone on their staff is one big family. They all get along and laugh all the time. It was a pleasure being able to meet them. After this experience, I will not only be buying and recommending Sigma for the great products, but also because of the people behind the great product.
And then I take the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki brush. What is this called? Flat Top Synthetic Kabuki, the F80. This line of brushes from Sigma is the most amazing line in the world. If you don't know what Sigma brushes is, they are just as good as MAC. They're the exact same thing as MAC. Sorry, MAC.
In a November 2013 post on her website titled "My Favorite Must-Have Sigma Brushes," she wrote, "I get asked all the time what brushes I think are absolutely necessary from Sigma Beauty. First, let me state I have used and loved Sigma since 2009. They are my absolute favorite brushes ever. Even when I worked for MAC, I would whisper to my clients, go buy Sigma, and write down the name of the company. It's so awesome seeing them grow bigger and bigger, and they deserve every ounce of it. Side note, the owners of this company are the most honest, down-to-earth, family-oriented people, which means a lot to me. I like knowing I'm buying from people with great values and great customer service. Anyways, let's talk brushes." On March 1st, 2014, Jaclyn Hill and Sigma Beauty launched their collaboration, the limited edition Sigma Beauty Expert Box, which featured 7 of Jaclyn's favorite Sigma brushes.
And that is my Sigma Beauty Expert Box. I am super, super excited about this. I have been working on it with Sigma for a few months now, and I've just been wanting to tell all of you guys so badly. So I was able to pick out my favorite 7 brushes by Sigma. So of course I picked out the F80 face foundation brush, like, come on. And of course the F86, the tapered highlighter brush, an all over big fat blending brush, the all over eyeshadow E55, and then the smaller, more precise goat hair blending brush, and then a pencil brush. So right here is pretty much all a woman needs to do their makeup, and it is at a discounted price.
For the first round, Sigma allegedly ordered between 3,000 and 5,000 units, which was supposed to be a 3-month supply. The brush set sold out in only 3 days. On March 4th, 2014, Jaclyn tweeted, "My @Sigma Beauty brush set is temporarily sold out. Sign up for the email to be guaranteed that you get yours."
And it did sell out in the first 2.5 days of being released. So because of that, I just wanted to address the situation because so many of you on Twitter have been thinking that it's gone forever and you didn't get to have a chance to buy it. That is not the case. You can sign up for an email to be notified the second it comes back out and it is released again. They are coming out with a bunch more kits for you guys so that all of you can go ahead and purchase who did not get your chance to.
Sigma Beauty tweeted, "Shop the back in stock at Jaclyn Hill Brush Kit," which includes 7 of her favorite Sigma brushes. For the restock, Sigma allegedly ordered 10,000 units, and when that round sold out, Jaclyn was allegedly insulted that Sigma wouldn't order more units, which would result in more money in her pocket. Her estimated earnings for this collab was approximately $200,000 at $100,000 per round. At the time of her collaboration with Sigma, Jaclyn was friends with Nicole Guerrero.
Where are your eyes? Where are your eyes?
By July 2015, they had stopped hanging out, and by early 2016, they stopped mentioning each other on Twitter. In or around that time, Nicole unfollowed Jaclyn on Twitter and Instagram. As of today, Jaclyn still follows Nicole, but Nicole does not follow Jaclyn on social media despite following over 600 people on Instagram. Now, there's been a ton of speculation with respect to the reason for the breakdown in their friendship, and my understanding is that a lot of it had to do with the fact that Jaclyn got the Sigma collab over Nicole, being that she was Sigma's top commission earner, and that Jaclyn went on to rub the collab in Nicole's face. My understanding is that Sigma was very good to Jaclyn during the course of their relationship. However, by the end of 2014, Jaclyn stopped mentioning Sigma brushes and slowly began implementing Morphe brushes on her channel.
And this is one of my favorite foundation brushes ever. This is like the most perfect blush brush in the world. This is my baby. This bad boy, oh my gosh, I love this brush so much. But still, they're like a quarter the price of a MAC brush. It's a really great just face blending brush.
She did, of course, keep her affiliate code, which she's kept in her description box up until this year. Something I found interesting was that on March 29th, 2013, Jaclyn quote tweets her All About Makeup Brushes video saying, "No, they don't sponsor me, they pay me nothing, I just love their brushes," in reference to Sigma. If you look in the description box of her quoted video, she does have a code listed. Now, I can't say for certain, but I'm assuming that this is an affiliate code of some sort, meaning that she was potentially profiting from any sales made through her codes, which actually date back to 2012, as evidenced in her September 3rd, 2012 foundation routine video. Approximately 2 weeks prior to IMATS NYC, which took place on April 11th through 13th, 2014, JACLYN and Jen Gerard of Gerard Cosmetics, formerly Whitening Lightning, engaged in a conversation on the phone. JACLYN suggested that Whitening Lightning could use a rose-colored lip gloss, and Jen asked JACLYN if she wanted to be part of creating one. Jen had her lab make up some samples and she gave them to JACLYN 2 weeks later at IMATS, where JACLYN was doing her meet and greet with Sigma. Following IMATS, Jen allegedly hosted a bunch of YouTubers at her hotel for drinks. JACLYN attended with her mom, sister, and husband, and that's when she told Jen which gloss she liked. After that, the gloss was put into production and Rose Hill was launched on May 2nd, 2014.
So I was talking to Whitening Lightning about this whole situation of all their glosses, and I'm like, you guys are missing the perfect color of rose in your lip gloss line. And they were like, do you want to create it with us? And I was like, yes I do. So Color Your Smile and I teamed up, had a baby, and I named her Rose Hill.
Due to the success of Rose Hill, JACLYN and Gerard Cosmetics decided to collaborate for a second time. Although JACLYN indicates that she created and developed the shade herself, the process was similar to that of Rose Hill, where she picked her favorite shade from samples provided by Gerard.
So I am going to be going in with a lip gloss that I just finished creating and developing myself.
In mid-August 2014, JACLYN, her mom, and sister stayed at Jen's house for a week as JACLYN wanted help with her brand, so Jen made her a bunch of appointments with labs and packaging companies. JACLYN heard about Morphe through Brian Champagne, who did her makeup while she stayed at Jen's house. Jen Gerard was the one who took JACLYN to Morphe for the first time. While in store, JACLYN allegedly only spoke to Linda, the owner of Morphe, for a total of 5 minutes. Jen invited Linda to a party she was having the following night, and that is likely where Linda and JACLYN connected.
I was is my lighting okay? Do I need to be brighter? We'll make it work. I went to Morphe Brushes when I was in California one day. We stopped on the way back from a meeting in Burbank and we went to Morphe Brushes, and I did not realize that they had eyeshadows. I thought they only had brushes, and so when I went in and saw their eyeshadows, I thought, oh, weird. And then when I swatched them, I was like, what is life? I literally met the owner of the store. She came out towards the end when I was shopping, and we were talking to each other, and I was like, hi, yeah, how do you sell these for $2? Like, honestly, how does this work business-wise? How is it even physically possible to sell an eyeshadow that's good quality for $2? And she's just like, so sweet, and she's like, well, they're just kind of like an accessory for us. I was like, well, I'll take them all.
At the time, JACLYN was already in talks to collaborate with Makeup Geek on an eyeshadow palette. My understanding is that JACLYN and Marlena, the CEO of Makeup Geek, met through social media and had been talking regularly. Marlena happened to be in LA at the same time JACLYN was visiting Jen, and that's when they officially met for the first time. While in LA, JACLYN had a meeting with Anastasia Beverly Hills about a possible collaboration between her and the brand. They also had plans to create an eyeshadow palette and even began looking at shades together. My understanding is that JACLYN told Anastasia that she was in talks to collaborate with Makeup Geek, and Anastasia allegedly advised her to be careful of the brands she associated with, as, quote, you can always go down but never up, end quote. Anastasia and Marlena of Makeup Geek apparently do not get along. JACLYN even confirmed the fact that she was working with Anastasia Beverly Hills on Twitter when Marjorie asked, if you could only choose one of the ABH eyeshadow palettes, which one would it be? You can only choose one. JACLYN responded saying, the one I'm creating with them. JACLYN went on to collaborate with Gerard Cosmetics 2 more times in 2014. On August 25th, they launched a Kylie Jenner-inspired lipstick shade called 1995.
The reason it's taken me so long to get around to filming this tutorial is because for the last couple of months, I have actually been formulating a lipstick inspired by Kylie Jenner. I teamed up with Gerard Cosmetics and we created a Kylie Jenner-inspired lip color. I did the entire process. I was so picky about the formulation. I was so picky about the color. That's why it took me such a long time. I am so happy to introduce this color to you guys. It is called 1995.
And on November 9th, JACLYN and Gerard launched Buttercup Lipstick, their 4th and final collaboration together.
Because this lipstick literally just, it has my heart. It is my favorite thing that I've ever done. It In my eyes, it's just pure perfection.
On December 24th, 2014, JACLYN announced her first collaboration with Morphe, being the JACLYN Hill Favorites palette via Instagram. In her post, she advised that the palette would be limited edition and available for pre-sale on January 1st, 2015. On December 31st, 2014, JACLYN replied to someone on Twitter advising that they had changed the time of the pre-sale from 12 EST to 12 PST. On January 1st, 2015, 15 minutes before the palette went live for pre-sale, the Morphe site crashed. According to JACLYN, the reason for the site crashing was due to Morphe being, quote, severely hacked from multiple places, and that the hackers were sending fake huge amounts of traffic to make the website crash to make it near impossible for customers to order the palettes, end quote.
Basically, they ended up finding out over 24 hours later that the issue that their website was having is that they were being severely hacked from multiple places.
It's been so overwhelming dealing with the stuff with the bots.
On January 1st, 2015, JACLYN tweeted, I am so sorry about the Morphe site. Only a quarter of the palettes have sold, so there are a ton left. On January 2nd, 2015, JACLYN tweeted, my Morphe palette is getting low on stock. We have about a quarter of them left. Everyone using Firefox is having luck with orders. A few hours later on January 2nd, JACLYN tweeted, good news, Morphe is restocking my palette and it will be available again in a few weeks. There are still some left though. In her January 4th, 2015 December favorites video, JACLYN indicates that despite the hackers and the difficulties with Morphe's website, the palette sold out in 2.5 days.
This palette did sell out, even with these hackers bombarding the site. You guys still managed to sell out these palettes in 2.5 days. I don't know how. I thought that they were gonna last for at least a month or two with how many they ordered, but they were gone in 2.5 days. And it did sell out in the first 2.5 days of being released. You guys still managed to sell out these palettes in 2.5 days. 2.5 days, 2.5 days, 2.5 days, 2.5 days. So because we sold out so quickly and because it was such a painful task for those of you who did purchase it, they are going to be restocking it in the month of February for you guys.
In March 2015, Morphe took to Instagram to explain that the delay with respect to the restock of the palette was due to shipping issues associated with the LA port strike. On April 13th, 2015, the palette restocked and of course sold out. For those interested and for those wondering why JACLYN continues to collaborate with Morphe over and over again, my understanding is that she raked in approximately $750,000 from the second round of her favorites palette, not including commission. It's estimated that she earned between $2.5 and $3 million for the entire JACLYN Hill favorites palette collaboration with Morphe. After doing multiple collabs with each other, JACLYN and Jen Gerard of Gerard Cosmetics developed not only a close business partnership, but a close friendship. On August 10th, 2015, JACLYN took to Twitter to announce that she was cutting off her affiliation with Gerard Cosmetics. She wrote, for those curious about me cutting off my affiliation with Gerard Cosmetics, check out my Snapchat, JACLYN R. Hill.
Quick and address something that I have honestly been absolutely dreading talking about, and it's been going on now for a few months, because it's a negative situation, and it just, and my heart is like legit pounding for some reason. Like, I don't know why I'm like so nervous to finally like talk about this and like bring it to the light. So just bear with me, okay? Just bear with me. I have had hundreds, maybe thousands of people ask me in the last couple of weeks why I am not talking about Manny's collaboration with Gerard Cosmetics, his lip paint Serenity. And the reason why is because I have been in the process for the past couple of months of cutting off all ties and my affiliation with Gerard Cosmetics, which was not easy to do. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can guess like the reason behind this, and I don't want to go too in depth, and it's not something that I really wish to talk about too much because I don't want to shed any negativity on the situation. But it's honestly just a lot of different things combined, and I'll go more in depth about it in a video for sure in the next month when I really feel like ready and comfortable and things have finally settled at a good place. But until then, I just want you guys to know that Manny has been aware of this since before Serenity ever launched, and this has nothing to do with our friendship. Like, this is just business, and he completely understands. And if you currently go to the Gerard Cosmetics website, you will see that my face and my name is no longer on there whatsoever because I chose to take off anything having to do with me because I just felt like this was really necessary for me. It's something that like I really thought about and like kept me awake at night, and I really had to pray about because this was a financial burden, but I just felt like my morals were way more important. So at this point, even though I did collaborate on the 4 colors I have with Drug Cosmetics, they still are available for sale, but they are no longer my shades. I don't have anything to do with them anymore. We are actually still in the middle of settling this right now, so it's kind of like a to be continued story, but I'm just kind of updating you guys on it because I don't know, I just feel like I update you on everything. At the end of the day, I just feel like I'm always saying, like, I'm still the same person, and I put, like, my morals above any money, and money doesn't matter to me. It's, like, loyalty that matters. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I have really been tested recently, and it's, like, God's way of saying, like, okay, prove it. Like, put your money where your mouth is. And so I've chosen to do this, and that's that. I've honestly wanted to talk to you guys about this for so long. Like, I have gotten so many questions about Drug Cosmetics for the past few months, and I've just been like, so I'm really glad that I can finally tell you.
JACLYN's Snapchat rant left people with more questions than answers. A fan of JACLYN's replied to her original tweet saying, "At JACLYN Hill, I still don't think I understand what happened. Why don't you want to be affiliated with them?" To which JACLYN responded, "Because I don't support the company and the way they handle things. It's not my journey." In that tweet, JACLYN was referring to the situation that occurred between Manny MUA, Jen Gerard, and Karina Kaboom. JACLYN made it look as though she cut ties with Gerard Cosmetics solely because she didn't agree with what transpired between Jen Gerard and Karina Kaboom, when that really wasn't the case at all. The situation that occurred with Karina and Jen took place in May 2015. It's my understanding that JACLYN carried on supporting Gerard Cosmetics with no issues for months to come. JACLYN didn't take interest in the situation until the end of July 2015. JACLYN asked Jen Gerard to make an apology video dedicated to Karina Kaboom because she was getting backlash and didn't want to lose subscribers. To my knowledge, Jen intended on calling Karina to speak with her to personally apologize, but JACLYN still wanted one done on public record. A week later, JACLYN allegedly sent Jen an email filled with personal attacks against her before resigning from being an affiliate with the brand. Without going into detail, I received a confusing text message from JACLYN in mid-July 2015 making certain, in quotes, recommendations. I responded immediately and offered to call her to discuss. She refused. Approximately 10 days later, I received an email from her resigning from my brand. I had to step back from the hurtful things that were said in her email and remind myself that not everyone values friendship the same way I do. I responded to JACLYN's email thanking her for her partnership and wishing her well, and let her know we would have her name and image removed from our website within 48 hours. Jen went on to say I would never want to hold a friend back from doing bigger and better things. If she had better deals out there, I would have had no problem with her moving on from Gerard Cosmetics.
Dana Columbus, I know you and JACLYN Hill are good friends, and I was wondering if you plan on creating some makeup with her. I don't know if I should announce it. I think JACLYN mentioned it, but yes, we are working on something. It's coming out soon. It's amazing. She's done such a good job with it. I'm going to let her tell more about it because that is her project, so I want her to give the details on that.
So basically, long story short, some emails have been leaked. I say leaked because I don't even know if these emails are legit, because I personally have searched the internet high and low and cannot find a copy of these emails. So I don't know. I can't confirm anything. I've heard other people say like, oh, well, it's been confirmed. And I'm like, by who?
There's been a ton of speculation with respect to what happened between JACLYN and Makeup Geek, eventually leading to the cancellation of their collaboration. Here's the true tea. You've probably heard about the leaked emails between JACLYN and an employee of Makeup Geek. In fact, JACLYN cherry-picked a few to include in her recent Let's Talk video. Now, I know a lot of you have been curious as to the content of these emails, as to my knowledge, they've only been summarized and briefly shown. I think it's important to go through them in order to gain a better understanding of how JACLYN strung Makeup Geek along for a year and a half, leaving them with approximately $1 million in stock. Unfortunately, in order to protect my source and the privacy of the individuals involved, I can't show the emails in their entirety with identifying information, so all you'll see is the body text. On April 15, 2015, a Makeup Geek employee writes to JACLYN, "Hi there, I hope IMATs and all went well, looked like fun. Just checking in to see what feedback you have for all the shades. The labs are pressing me for the feedback and they're holding up our other development until we get these nailed down, so I appreciate your assistance. If you have any questions or concerns, just let me know." On April 16, 2015, JACLYN's mom, Robin, responds to the Makeup Geek employee. "I've let JACLYN know to reply ASAP, sorry for the wait, the weekend in NYC was great and IMATs was insane. Hope you're enjoying the warmer weather, Robin." On April 16th, 2015, JACLYN responds to the Makeup Geek employee, "Hey, blank, I sent a separate email of the two shades I like. I played with, in quotes, saddle, and it's very chalky and not at all like a typical Makeup Geek shadow. The dark brown one is too similar to Bitten, I think. It needs a little more brown added to it. Let me know if we are on the same page." On April 16th, 2015, a Makeup Geek employee writes to JACLYN and her mom, "Thanks, JACLYN and Robin. Glad to hear the weekend went well. So for the saddle, which formula was the one that was chalky? Was one of them one that is good / no changes needed, in brackets the previous one you mentioned?" On April 16th, 2015, JACLYN responds to the Makeup Geek employee saying, "They are both chalky to me, they didn't blend well." On April 16th, 2015, a Makeup Geek employee responds to JACLYN, "Just the ones from the other lab that came in the same shipment as the dark shade, in brackets can't remember offhand if there was more than one, or the ones from the first batch before that you seem to like." On April 16th, 2015, JACLYN responds to the Makeup Geek employee, "Just the new ones, the first ones you sent me, I like the formula way better." On April 16th, 2015, a Makeup Geek employee responds to JACLYN, "Okay, cool, I could agree with that. So is the one you liked of the first batch worth signing off on and proceeding?" On April 16th, 2015, JACLYN responds to the Makeup Geek employee, "Yes, I really like it." Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN saying, "Awesome, we will move forward on that one and work on revising the darker shades. Any idea for shade names?" On April 17th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek saying, "I haven't thought about it yet, but I will start now." On April 28th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN and her mom, "Hi JACLYN and Robin, hope this week is treating you well so far. We're sending out another dark test sample that is more brown. Curious your opinion of it. It should arrive tomorrow via UPS." On May 15th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN and her mom, "I just wanted to check in to see if JACLYN had a chance to try out that newer dark brown shade." On May 15th, 2015, JACLYN's mom responds to Makeup Geek. JACLYN thought she had approved both shades. The new one is a little too dark. On May 15th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN's mom. "Hi Robin, on April 16th I have a note from JACLYN. Quote, the dark brown one is too similar to Bitten, I think. It needs a little more brown added to it, end quote. If she indeed wanted to use that formula, we totally can, but we tried adding more brown to this more recent sample." On May 15th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN's mom. "Hi Robin, just wanted to check in again to see if you had any feedback on the deep brown shade. Also, if you had any thoughts on box designs for the collab project, we'd be glad to hear them. We will probably be proceeding with designs at the beginning of next week." On May 22nd, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. "I played with the shade a bit and it definitely needs a little purple added to it to make it a little warmer. And the formula itself is very dry and semi-chalky. I have not even thought about a box design, so I am open to whatever you have in mind. Are you thinking of incorporating my logo?" On May 27th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. "Okay, we'll see what they can come up with. We were thinking of including the logo, but we're open to other ideas too. We'll probably have some different design options to choose from and we can get your take on them. Also, do you have any ideas for the shade names?" On June 1st, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN and her mom. "Just an FYI, there should be another shade sample arriving for you today. I look forward to your thoughts and feedback." On June 5th, 2015, Makeup Geek response to JACLYN and her mom. I just wanted to make sure you got the latest sample okay and check to see if you had some thoughts on it. I'm hoping we can nail down the final shades soon, as it's getting close to delaying the launch to October if we slide too much time. I don't want to put too much pressure or rush anything, but I just wanted to let you know, as I know our lab's production schedule is getting booked pretty heavy. On June 9th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. So sorry for the delayed response. It's okay if you rush me. I don't mind. I love the shade. It's perfect. But the formula is very chalky and doesn't feel like a typical Makeup Geek shadow. So basically, I love both shades, but the formula isn't right. Are we only creating 2 shades from scratch? I thought we were doing 4, but my mind is drawing a blank. I talked to Marlena about it and she said I was supposed to be doing 3 or 4 like Manny. She is overnighting me pigments that are launching in the fall to see if I want to press one of them for my palette. On June 10th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. I'm also glad to hear the shade is what you have in mind, and I'll see what they can do to get the formula just right. However, I know some of the pre-production samples from this lab can have a weird surface issue until you dig more into the pan. Would you mind seeing if you can get further into the pan to see if the texture improves? The final pans wouldn't be like that. The only reason I ask is we thought our pan of the shade was pretty decent. If you don't think it's good, we can ask for more improvement and adjustment. Just to clarify, you're still good with the saddle formula you signed off on, right? Here's a snippet of our conversation from April 16th. I just want to be sure, as I've already signed off on and placed a large order for that saddle shade and formula. As for the custom shades versus existing shades, this is the list you sent originally for the palette in your February 24th email. Peach Smoothie, Creme Brulee, Barcelona Beach, Cocoa Bear, Grandstand, In the Spotlight, Shimma Shimma, Saddle in brackets MAC, Makeup Forever 162. I believe with Manny we asked for the same ratio. Custom shades can add quite a bit to the project timeline, but he passed on some extra requests that we're trying to accommodate. But we could probably swap out one of the shades with a pressed pigment if you find one you really like. Once you have one chosen, please let me know ASAP, and also which shade it is replacing in the 9-shade lineup so I can plan accordingly. I have been ordering my inventory based on your previous selections, so I need to plan ahead. It's worth noting, if we do something more custom, it would greatly delay this project further. Sorry for all the text, but I just want to make sure we get this right and moving quickly. Hopefully we're getting real close here and we can put together a killer lineup for you. On June 10th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Yes, I do like the saddle one, and I am 100% yes on that one. I will dig down a little bit to see if the formula is better today. Marlena said I will be receiving the pigments in the next 2 days, so I will let you know the day I get them, if I want to press one of them for the palette or not. I will keep you updated on every move so we can go quickly. On June 10th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Okay, so once I got down in the brown shadow, it is much better. I didn't use it on the eyes, I only swatched it on my hands, but it is way better. On June 10th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Do you think you'll be able to try it on your eyes soon just to make sure you like it? On June 10th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Oh yes, I will try it tomorrow. On June 12th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Just wanted to check back in and see if you had time to apply the shade to your eye and see what your thoughts were. On June 13th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. It seems perfect. I used it yesterday and loved it. On June 14th, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Would you be able to send me Peach Smoothie and Creme Brulee? I just ran out of both and don't know how to live without them, haha. On June 15th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. So glad to hear that. So can you confirm that you're 100% happy to sign off for this dark brown shade? And we will be more than glad to send you some more Peach Smoothie and Creme Brulee. Any others that you're getting low on? I found out that the shipment of pigment samples were accidentally sent via ground, so they won't arrive until Wednesday. I'm very sorry about that. On June 15th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Yes, I can sign off on the dark brown. I only need those 2 shades for now. That's fine with me. I look forward to trying the pigments on Wednesday. On June 18th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. I just wanted to make sure those pigment samples arrived okay. Let me know so we can plan accordingly. On June 18th, 2015, JACLYN's mom responds to Makeup Geek. Yes, she received them. Thank you. On June 18th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN's mom. Just keep us posted on what her selection will be and what it will be replacing in the palette. On June 18th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Okay, so after looking at the pigments and swatching everything 1,000 times, I finally made a decision. I would like to eliminate Grandstand and Barcelona Beach and add the 2 pigments I am attaching to this email. On June 19th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Good to know the lineup looks nice. I'll request some pan version samples of those 2, and that will give you more time to think about the color combo. I want you to try the pan versions, as they might provide slightly different payoff than the loose version, and I want want to ensure your happiness. On June 29th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN and her mom. We just survived Fame Expo and wanted to see if those pressed versions of the pigments arrived okay. On June 30th, 2015, JACLYN's mom responds to Makeup Geek. Yes, JACLYN received the pressed shadows and said they are beautiful. Sorry for the late response. On July 1st, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Could I get a final confirmation that this is the final lineup for the palette? I just need to lock down my ordering. Peach Smoothie, Creme Brulee, Cocoa Bear, Shimma Shimma, Saddle Dupe, Makeup Forever 162 Dupe, Legend Press Foiled Pigment, Birthday Wish Press Foiled Pigment, and In the Spotlight Foiled. On June 1st, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Looks great to me. On June 3rd, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Wonderful, so I have everything in order. Okay, so some items we need to make progress on soon. Do you have name ideas for the Saddle or Makeup Forever dupes? We can work on naming them ourselves. If you're stumped, just let me know. We would like to set up a photo session for you in Florida. Do you have a local photographer that you enjoy working with? We could find a suitable one if needed. Marlena would be up for meeting up with you to do a set of photos together as well. What is your thoughts on the palette price point? These will be full-size pans in a magnetic removable palette, 6 standard eyeshadows plus 3 foiled eyeshadows, plus a reusable palette with quality mirror. The retail value of the shadows alone will be $66. What do you think of the price point of $60? On July 3rd, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. I will come up with names ASAP over the weekend. I do know a great photographer about 45 minutes away from me that I would love to shoot with. I went to college with him and he has his own studio now. $60 is scary to me because I know that people will be pissed and say that they can get an Urban Decay palette with 18 shades for $50. Even though I see the quality and reasoning for pricing, it's so high I know many people won't. I think you guys need to try and make the price as low as you possibly can. On July 8th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. After talking to Marlena, I think we can plan on matching the Urban Decay palette pricing at $54. It's more product in ounces and also has the higher quality. Less filler colors too, as you've picked some real must-haves, obviously. It's hard for us to go much lower as we aren't looking to erode our normal price structure too much. We don't have plans to go to the mainstream palette world, plus we've been selling our 9 standard eyeshadow bundle, in brackets no foiled and no palette, for $50 for years now with relative success. If you've had any name ideas for the 2 matte shades, let me know. As for the photographer, if you wouldn't mind passing along the contact info, we'll touch base with them. On August 4th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. What would you think about having your signature instead of your logo on the box? If you're okay with it, do you have a scan or high quality photo of your signature we could use? On August 4th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. That's fine with me, I can sign my name and send it over to you. On August 5th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Okay, great, thanks. How/when should we expect it? On August 5th, 2015, JACLYN's mom responds to Makeup Geek. She will scan it. On August 18th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN and her mom. A few different items for you. When you have a chance, please pass along the signature that we can use for the packaging. We are almost ready to pass along a draft of a contract for you. It's mostly just a formality, and we're doing our best to be sensitive to both sides, especially in light of the Gerard Cosmetics situation. We have been chatting with Blank about setting up a photo shoot for the collab. We're hoping September 1st works well for you. What's your thoughts? I also wanted to let you know that the release of the palette may be a little later than we originally expected. I'm still awaiting more definitive timeframes, but it's looking like the end of November due to the palette production. We had the embossing added to the project, so that extended the time frame. We're gonna do our best to launch it as soon as we can. On August 19th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. I think September 1st would work well for me. Would Marlena be joining me on the 1st? I practiced my signature today and it was so ugly that I am doing it again tomorrow. Haha. Is all you need from me my signature? I understand the delay on the palette. On a separate note, I would love to discuss prices on the warehouse. I just put in my order for 300,000 lipstick tubes, so I finally feel like we're making progress after 18 months of work. And I would love to hear what you have in mind for shipping, customer service, etc. On August 19th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Yes, September 1st is a date that would be ideal for Marlena to join you. For the signature, we just need a clean photo or scan of it so we can trace it in Adobe Illustrator. I've also attached a rough draft of a contract for the collab palette. We're still fuzzy on a couple issues but wanted to get your thoughts. While we love you and know you're very excited about this project, we are also putting up hundreds of dollars in advance for this project, so we don't want to get stuck, if you know what I mean. Again, I want this to be mutually beneficial and don't want to step on any toes. If you want to discuss on the phone too, let me know, but I'd like to lock down a commitment very soon to avoid delaying the project further. On August 19th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. I am attaching 2 images of my signature. You can pick. You may want to clean it up a bit because my signature is so ugly. I will have my mom and lawyer look at the contract and get back to you. On August 19th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Awesome, thanks. And I also realized I think there was an old release date on the draft. As you know, this is our first collab, so we weren't quite sure what all to have and weren't sure what the formalities you had with Morphe, Becca, etc. On August 19th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Okay, I'll take a look and want to make a few small changes. I see on here you guys have settled on the price of $45. Is there any way you can get that down to $39? It will sell so much faster at that price. $45 is going to make a lot of people upset, I know it. On August 19th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. We discussed $43 at one point, but Marlena wanted to go with $45. Also, to make a pre-December launch even possible, we have to spend an extra $40,000 to air freight the first 40,000 pallets in early. We actually don't want to sell too fast, as we won't be able to get that many pallets in that quickly. On August 19th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. I totally understand air costs are so expensive. At the same time, the public doesn't care about air costs, and we can't explain that to them, which is so frustrating. I'm just being 100% honest with you up front because I know my audience. If we drop the price, it will sell within 2 months, I'm sure. At $45, it may sit around for 6 to 8 months, which I can't do that because I have a signed contract with Morphe to launch a palette in December, and we are now trying to push it back since this palette got pushed back. I am wondering how you feel about putting this project on hold and launching Manny's palette first and launching mine in the spring, or I could be beginning of next year and Manny could be spring. Since this has been so delayed, it's honestly giving me anxiety because I signed my contract with Morphe months ago and I have been working on our collab for a very long time. It was supposed to be a holiday launch and now I feel like the Makeup Geek palette and Morphe palette are gonna cross paths and it's gonna be a mess for all of us. These are just my current thoughts. I'm trying to find a way to add less stress for everyone. I hope I don't stress you out with this, but I think that if we keep trying to move forward at a fast pace and spend $40,000 on air shipping, it's going to be a mess. Please bounce your thoughts back at me. On November 9th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN and her mom. So I'm trying to get some pieces lined up for box artwork, and one major item is that we need to get some portrait photography set up very soon. Turns out my timeline is a lot slimmer than normal just because of printing places and the holiday season. I know we had talked about working with JACLYN's friend there in Florida. What is our chances of getting some portraits done in the next week or so? I'm super sorry about this tight time frame. We still might be able to do another shoot for other promotional photos later, but we'll need something for the back of the box sooner rather than later. On November 9th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Hey, I probably won't be able to shoot that quickly because I know he is super busy and I am swamped for the next 10 days. I could reach out to him right now though and set something up. What kind of photos are you thinking exactly? Photos I could take myself possibly? Color or black and white? On November 10th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Yeah, we can make it work with something you do. It helps that you have a photography background. The box will probably be the easiest compared to those for the other promotional pieces. Because of the way your logo is styled, a white box would be ideal, but we're aiming to do some high-end treatments so it doesn't seem cheap, along with rose gold foil treatment. Does that sound good? Here's the main points we are aiming for with these. Background area, if we are doing the white and rose gold, having a plain neutral background would be ideal. It would give us some design flexibility if there is empty background area showing above your head and on both sides. Avoid having anything cropped except well below your shoulders. Would be good to have you wearing shades from the palette. Even though you do great photos for your tutorials, we'd like to have a shot that looks like it was intentionally taken for this box, if that makes sense. We just don't want it to look like we just used one of your existing photos out of convenience. For the box, I think vertical shots would be ideal. I think color may work best, but if you want to try some black and white too, we could see how they turn out. I've attached a preview of the back of Manny's box so you can see it for reference. We played off his stars and moon theme. Anyway, let me know what you think and I appreciate your extra effort on this. On November 10th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Alright, sounds good to me. I can take some photos myself and send them over to you in the next week. I would prefer not using my current logo. I'm in the process of changing my logo logo right now, so it will be old by the time the palette launches. On November 10th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Oh, okay, good thing you mentioned that. Maybe use your signature then? What about the color scheme? Do you like the white and rose gold, or does something else sound better? On November 10th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. White and rose gold sounds nice to me. I would love to see some mock-ups so I can get an idea for the vision. On November 10th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Oh sure, do you want me to have your signature on the front then? I was planning on having your name/logo being larger than Makeup Geek's, so it has you being the dominant presence, but not using your logo changes that a bit. On November 10th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. We could still use a logo, I would just need a couple of weeks to get it. On November 10th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. It would be cool to have the fresh logo, but 2 weeks is kind of our cutoff point. I could work on some mock-ups without either logo and see what you think, and if you can get me the logo before our deadline, we can work on some revisions with it. We can be pretty nimble when needed. Does that work? On November 10th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Okay, go ahead and send me some samples and I will be diligent on my logo. On November 11th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Okay, cool. To help us narrow in on your style, is there any types/brands of packaging that you think are very similar to your style? Especially if it's not a cosmetic brand, so it doesn't end up being much of a copy. If there's certain patterns or textures, that helps too. On November 23rd, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Just wanted to check in and see if any progress is made on the new logo and your photo. I'm having a hard time coming up with much with just the signature. On December 4th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Marlena gave me a call to fill me in on the Morphe delays and wanting to move the Makeup Geek palette up a bit on the schedule. I let her know that we are all good on units for the main palette. The only thing we have yet to lock down and produce is the back label of the palette with shade arrangement and the outer box. The main things I need are a possible logo and a photo to use on the back of the box. I can still play around with some minimalistic box designs without a logo, but I don't want to risk it not feeling JACLYN enough. On December 10th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Sorry for the delay, I got sick with strep throat and have been miserable the past week but finally recovered and home. I went over our contract and I just have a question before moving on. If you guys intend on selling the shades that I create individually after the palette is gone, will I be earning a percentage of each sale? On December 14th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Yes, any of the press shades we could do $1 for each shade to go to you if we were to release as a single. We worked in something similar on Manny's contract, but that might have been after we sent you your draft. We can add that in with no problem. Anything else? Any thoughts on the photo shoot? Blank actually sent me an email today to see if we wanted to schedule something, but I'll need to get a photo for the box before too long, as that's really one of the main schedule roadblocks for the palette launch. On December 15, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. That is really the only thing I want added in the contract. Other than that, it looks good to me. I can take headshots myself right after the holidays. Just tell me the background you want and I can do it. I'm still working on my logo at the moment, which is why I haven't contacted you about it. It's been such a messy process and developing a new logo is not easy. So at this point, I'm thinking the packaging should just be white with my signature in silver. Let me know what you think. On December 15th, 2015, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Okay, thanks, I'll have the contract revised and pass along when ready. I understand the logo struggles. It took us quite a while to settle on our new one. And I may have some design concepts around just the signature and our logo while adding some subtle accents. On December 17th, 2015, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. I have a champagne background. I can use that one for the photos. I will take them in the next couple of weeks and have them to you after the holidays. It's so busy this time of year I can barely think straight. On January 4th, 2016, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Hopefully you had a wonderful holiday and a happy new year. I didn't stop working once, so it feels good to have everybody back. Haha, 2016 is gonna be such an awesome year. I can't wait to see everything unfold. Just wanted to give you a heads up that I will be taking the headshots before I leave to LA on the 13th. We should also bounce around some ideas for the packaging since my logo is not ready yet. On January 4th, 2016, JACLYN added the following. Also, I forgot. I have been trying to request a withdrawal of my commission and it hasn't been working all month of December. I've tried several times. On January 5th, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. For packaging ideas, could you look over these examples and let me know if any either feel like something you like or don't like? Even if you can cross ones off, that helps. Any notes on what you do or don't like about certain ones would help as well. And for the affiliate payment, I'm really sorry about that. We've been having some issues with that part with some users since we had a recent software update. What amount would you like to withdraw? We can do it a bit more manual. April. On February 1st, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN and her mom. I wanted to check in on the picture and any packaging design guidance from my last email. On another note, we're trying to line up our timelines for releases, and we were wondering what you thought about doing a May 4th release for the collab palette. We are trying to give enough space after Manny in brackets, which may actually happen soon, fingers crossed, and placed well within our other release. Let me know your thoughts and hopefully we can get this project packed up nicely. On February 1st, 2016, JACLYN's mom responds to Makeup Geek. Could we possibly do an April launch? JACLYN is doing a launch with Becca the end of May, 1st of June, and I feel that May could be a little too close to that. We want to give the Makeup Geek palette plenty of time to sell well before Becca. JACLYN will get back to you by the end of the week about the picture and package design. On February 1st, 2016, Makeup Geek responded to JACLYN's mom. Okay, I think we can make it work at the end of April. I appreciate your thoughtfulness on the matter. We will just have to be efficient on the artwork and promotion to make sure we get all of our pieces together, so we also have time for a large batch of fully assembled pieces before launch so we can keep the fans happy. On February 1st, 2016, JACLYN's mom responds to Makeup Geek. Thanks, blank. JACLYN said that she will get on it. We appreciate all your patience. On February 4th, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Attached is the agreement with revised timelines included. It mentions commencing the launch by May 1st, but we will target a late April release. To be able to secure the full 100,000 pieces of all the standard shades, I will need to get a signed copy of the contract. I have about an extra 50,000 or so of some of the shades, but I don't want to overextend my inventory of these shades until we are all locked down. If I order the remaining pieces soon, they should hopefully be ready by launch, but the 50,000 sets we have should last us for the initial part of the launch. On February 9th, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN and her mom. One other note, Marlena is just a bit concerned about only having 4 exclusives in your palette. We do have one upcoming shade that is already finalized that is almost a direct dupe for MAC Soft Brown, which of course is rather similar to Creme Brulee. What is your thoughts about having that shade in your palette instead of Creme Brulee? If you are interested, I'm hoping to get you a sample soon. On February 9th, 2016, JACLYN's mom responds to Makeup Geek. Thank you, JACLYN said she is interested, so a sample would be great. On February 10th, 2016, Makeup Geek responded to JACLYN's mom. Okay, we just sent a sample overnight, arriving tomorrow. On February 11th, 2016, Makeup Geek responded to JACLYN's mom. Good afternoon, just wanted to confirm it arrived okay today. On February 11th, 2016, JACLYN's mom responded to Makeup Geek. Yes, JACLYN received it, thanks. On February 12th, 2016, Makeup Geek responded to JACLYN. Please let me know ASAP what you think about the following. Creme Brulee versus the new Soft Brown dupe. Photo for packaging, packaging style. We need to finalize these and the contract very soon to have any shot of hitting the April launch window. On February 13th, 2016, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. The Soft Brown dupe is too dark compared to Creme Brulee and looks too similar to my other brown shade. April launch probably isn't gonna work for me because all the hype for my Sephora X Becca collection starts May 20th, and I want to give my Makeup Geek palette a full 2 months of hype before it gets burned out by Becca. This year is already overwhelming me like crazy. I have so much going on and I really need to figure out the times to launch everything. I wish we could have launched in February. I didn't realize it would take so long for Manny's palette to come out. My Morphe palette has been pushed back to August because of changes we made and delays, and then my lipsticks are gonna be right before the holidays, so we need to find a time to slip our palette in somewhere. On February 13th, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. That does all make sense, so are you pretty confident on our original shade lineup? Even though we originally planned on making one foiled shade a loose pigment, we can see if we can make it more of a JACLYN exclusive if the lab can make sure all their bulk will be okay for all pressed. I can see your dilemmas with your timeline, however, I'm rather concerned about some of your exclusive shades that have been sitting on our shelves. Not only from the perspective of the money we have tied up in them, but also that the time is gradually ticking on their lifespan. Fortunately, powder can last a couple of years, but we are already 5 months into that timeline for your exclusive shades. Manny's timeline was a challenge as we had to quickly put him in the first spot when he didn't have 3 of his shades finalized yet. December was the absolute best case scenario, but we had one shade that broke that scenario in bulk supply. Anyway, I'm hoping we can fit you in the coming months months, and I would appreciate all you could do to make that happen. If a phone call would help, let me know. On February 13th, 2016, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. I spoke with Marlena about all of this, and I'm assuming she is keeping you up to date. We are thinking July for the launch now, but I need to talk to Becca and my mom to see if we can make that 100%. I will have an answer for you this week. How many of my shadows have you ordered at this point? The custom ones are what I'm referring to. Just curious. I am also attaching my new logo for an example of the color scheme I want to go with for packaging. This logo obviously says JACLYN Hill Cosmetics, but we can eliminate that part. Just use the JH and put my signature underneath. On February 15th, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Yes, Marlena and I chatted on the phone and text this weekend trying to figure things out. Please let me know what it's looking like on your end, but if we do July, we will need Morphe to not be right on our tail as well. I have 50,000 of each shade on hand right now, even excess for our standard shades on top of our normal quantities. I also have 150,000 empty palettes on hand for you and Manny to share. Based on what you have seen with your other collabs and the price point / product for this one, how many units do you see moving in the first 3 to 4 months? We will start experimenting with some box concepts with the logo. Seems like silver foil would work well. On February 15th, 2016, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Okay, so we have a problem because my Morphe palette has to launch August. Becca is so pissed about it, but there really isn't another option. I signed the Morphe contract last summer and have been developing it since May. I'm starting to think we need a plan B of some sort. I'm wondering if you should just sell the shadows without my name attached and call it a day. Obviously, I want our collab to work so bad, but I don't want to stress anyone out or jam-pack it into my schedule and not give it the hype it deserves. I'm open to any ideas or input you guys have from your end. I didn't realize 2016 was going to be so crazy for me until about a month ago. On February 15th, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Would April 6th or worst case March 30th work? We can kick this out the door to get it out of the way if that's what we need to do. We just won't have time for a stellar box. All I have to do is push out a box and label and give Manny enough breathing room. Ideally, I would like to have the latest date before the Becca collab that's possible so we don't cramp Manny. On February 15th, 2016, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. I just spoke with Manny and he is not comfortable with my palette launching so close to his, and I'm not either. Also, I will never put my name on a product unless it's perfect, so we would need the time to make it 100% before launching it. You can see why I'm feeling stressed, obviously. I'm sure you're feeling it too. On February 15th, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Understood. What's the earliest you could do before the Morphe palette? On February 15th, 2016, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. August 30th would be the absolute earliest, more like September 15th. The issue is my Becca and Sephora collab. We have 9 products coming out in a 4-month period. On February 15th, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Okay, I guess I'm a bit confused now. So there's no way it can go between the Becca and Morphe? You mentioned July as a possibility on Saturday. On February 15th, 2016, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. No, it can't go between because I found out that Becca is launching the first group of products on May 20th and the second half August 1st. I thought we were launching everything on May 20th, but after the meeting with Sephora, they changed the marketing plan to maximize sales. I just spoke to Morphe and they said they will be launching in September. On February 15th, 2016, Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. Well, that stinks. Can't mess with Sephora, I guess. But I think we have an idea that could fix some of this dilemma. I would hate to close the door on the shades you selected and lose future exclusivity, so what would you think about doing a 4-pan bundle of Georgie, Frankie, Encore, and Legend? It wouldn't be a full palette, so it would avoid taking from Manny's palette, and you could keep the door open for a palette in the future with those exclusive shades. If you were open to the idea at the end of the year or early next, we could revisit a palette of the same size or even larger, and possibly a different structure design. Anyway, in terms of numbers, this is what I'm proposing. 4-pan only bundle unless you want to add in other singles. 2 foileds and 2 mattes would retail at $32, but we could do a bundle price of $28. Offer your per bundle commission of $3 each, plus the normal 12% through your link commissions. We have the approximately 50,000 units on hand, and once they are sold out, they would disappear until we figure out a new arrangement. Let me know what you think of this idea, and we can try to keep this thing alive and keep everyone happy. On February 15th, 2016, Marlena from Makeup Geek responds to JACLYN. I can ask Manny if he'd be okay with you selling single pans that are exclusively yours at the end of March. Wouldn't be a full palette, so wouldn't be just like Manny's, but I know the timing is tighter than I'd like. Wouldn't have to worry about designing a box either. For the other shades and palettes, since we already have them done, is about 1 million in palettes. Would have to have another collab job with that palette so we don't have to toss. Just a heads up. On February 20th, 2016, JACLYN responds to Makeup Geek. Hey, blank, I'm assuming Marlena filled you in on our conversation last week. I just wanted to express how sad, sorry, and disappointed I am that we aren't going to be able to make this palette work. This was truly out of my control and it sucks so bad. If I could rewind 6 months, I would do everything different. That's for sure. I'm sure you're upset because you put a lot of work into this, but please let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys. XO, JACLYN.
I promise you that I will never put money above my relationship with my subscribers.
It is the same formulation, pressed the same way, same pigmentation as the JACLYN Hill palette, which we all know and hopefully we all love. People are getting palettes that are not having good pigmentation and not swatching well.